One, they are willing to die for freedom. And two, they love Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the person who embodies this idea of standing up to the Chinese government, the communist Chinese government in Beijing. So they see him as the leader of their movement in many respects.
Schneider said he and other members of his American Conservative Union team were in East Asia for the Japanese Conservative Political Action Conference, JCPAC. There are other overseas CPACs coming up in South Korea and Brazil, and then the flagship CPAC in Washington in the last week of February. When the supporters of the Hong Kong protesters heard that the ACU leadership was nearby, they invited them to their city to come see for themselves. What they found was a Western-style city that functioned normally during the day and that exploded with marches and demonstrations at night.
Hong Kong is a unique city. There's no city like it on Earth. And similarly, the protests in Hong Kong are different. During the day, it's just a modern, westernized, very successful city. But then at night, the people come out and they organize in a very unique way, but it's every single person, from literally the richest man in Hong Kong to the poorest person who's scraping by. They all come out together in unison to protest for their freedom.
In the more than 3 months of protests, a collective consciousness has taken over, so that there is a cheerfulness among the protesters as they await the violent clampdown everyone knows is coming, as the People's Liberation Army stages its troops just over the border of the city, he said.
When the protesters go out, there's such enthusiasm and genuine affection for each other and commitment to the cause that there's a certain joyous spirit in the protesting, even as the Beijing-backed policemen and the triad gangs are literally leveling shotguns on people. There's still a certain joy. I've never seen anything like it. These people, and then they will say, we are prepared to die for freedom. And that becomes very obvious to you when you see them with smiles on their faces, joy in their hearts, willing to die.
England relinquished control of Hong Kong July 1st, 1997. With the agreement that for the next 50 years, English laws and constitutional principles would remain in force. This means that the protests are in a city owned and operated by the Chinese Communist Party, with the clock ticking towards the year 2047, when Hong Kong's special status ends.
Almost all the people in Hong Kong are united under this desire to protect their freedom. There is a small element of Hong Kongers who they basically either they also are communists, or they just have their head in the sand and they think that if they just keep their head down, maybe everything will stay the same. Everything is not going to stay the same. Beijing has made it very clear that they cannot tolerate a free city on its border.
Returning to Washington was to be struck by the contrasts in attitudes between a city yearning for freedom and the city purporting to be the capital of the free world, he said.
The people in Hong Kong see America as that shining city on a hill, the symbol of freedom throughout the world. And so that flag, our flag, represents freedom. It represents what these people want. The irony is that at the same time the people in Hong Kong are waving a flag of freedom, here in America you've got radical left people who say that the U.S. flag is a symbol of oppression and all that sort of ridiculousness.
Neil W. McCabe, One America News, Washington.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.